anything happens in this review, I just want to say that a little bit this is a bit dated because I actually recorded this review like maybe a month or two ago. So if anything seems off or something, or if the room looks different from what it is now, yeah, I recorded this review a few months ago. I planned on having it up sooner, but things happen. From what I watched it over before I edited it, before I completely uploaded it, I made sure to check if all my opinions on the stuff were still the same, so that if anything were changed, I would go back and change it or just redo the whole review. But nope, it's all the same for me, in my opinion. So enjoy the show. Hey guys, Scott Pilgrim FMAB here. Welcome back to my anime reviews. It's been not really a while actually. I did an anime review last week. Wow, we're actually trying to keep on the schedule. Who would have expected it? Basically, every week I try to watch or rewatch an anime and then review it for you guys. Like I've said before, anime like One Piece, Bleach, and Fairy Tail will probably not be reviewed as they would take me way too long for me to get into the story, but there are two big animes being planned for the future. If you know me in real life, you would probably know these two anime, but let's get straight to the main point. This review is actually very special. Special because the anime is one that I've been really highly anticipated for multiple months. An anime so big that the creators thought it would just be unfair or it just wouldn't work as a video game in a video game format. A game so big that it has two main series titles, another big one on the way, and a huge spin-off game. A game so big that I own two different ties for, and a special edition of one of those games. This anime was so big that 2 episodes of the show would come out every single week while it was airing. It was huge, and it even has a simulcast on Funimation. This week, I will be reviewing Danganronpa 3, The End of Hope's Peak Academy. This is the true end of the main plot of all the games before Danganronpa V3, not to be confused with the anime. And if you are actually wondering, yes, I actually do. I own a Danganronpa tie from Loot Crate, and the special edition of Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls right here. Yeah, this actually has a tie in it. It's worth it. The tie's actually over there. I can show you guys in a second. I know I'm supposed to be doing an anime review, but I like showing off things I own. Here's the tie. It's really cool. Haven't even finished the Let's Play of Danganronpa, another episode, but whatever. This anime is split into 3 different arcs. The Future Arc, Despair Arc, and Hope Arc. The Future Arc and Despair Arc had 1 episode a week, while the Hope Arc was the last episode of the show. I'll be covering all of them for this review, and the whole anime is 24 episodes long, but when watching, I suggest going in this specific order. Future episode, then Despair episode, and then after watching every single episode of both of those shows, watch the Hope Arc. It's important you watch it that way to avoid spoilers and protect yourself from ruining the series for you. Why watch it this way? Because every week, like I said before, while it was airing, you'd get 1 episode of Future Arc, and then an episode of Despair Arc, and then it all ended with the Hope Arc. Watch it like this. It's actually very important. Trust me. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't played Danganronpa 1 and 2, I'm going to be spoiling, like, a lot of the fucking games, so I hope you've played them. And if you haven't played them, you can go get them on Steam right now. I think they're on sale still. I don't know. But you can get them on Steam, both Danganronpa 1 and 2. Not Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls, but Danganronpa 1 and 2 are on Steam. You can get them. They're actually really good games. And if you don't have the money to play them, and you just want to see what's going on in the games, you can watch my Let's Plays of Danganronpa 1 and 2 here, Like usual, I will be explaining the most important points of this anime, like the character, story, relationships, voice acting, animation, music, and the genre, and we always start with the genre here. The Future Arc has its own specific murder, mystery, action drama, while the Despair Arc genre is a school life drama anime, and we'll ignore the whole Hope Arc for now. Now for the setting. Future Arc setting is right after Danganronpa 2, on a remote island that was supposed to have a second Host Peak Academy built there, but is now the headquarters for the Future Foundation. And the Despair arc setting is before Danganronpa 1 and is set in Host Peak Academy. Now for the characters. We won't be covering every single character today because it would take literally forever, but I will be covering 6 of them. Now I know there's actually a lot more characters than this that actually contribute to the story and have very important roles, but I feel as if the characters that I'm going to speak now, the 6 that I'm only going to talk about now, are actually the characters who push the story forward completely and repeatedly in more than one situation. So, let's get to it. First is Makoto Naegi. He's an over-optimistic guy who believes hope will always be stronger than despair. He's one of the survivors of the previous killing game, and is the one who finally put an end to the life of Junko Enoshima. He has a no-giving-up attitude, and his optimism pretty much spreads like wildfire. He's seen some shit, but refuses to give in to despair. He has the skill of being the ultimate good luck, or the ultimate luck, but most people call him the ultimate hope. Second is Kyosuke Munakata. He just wants the best for the world, whatever it takes to have despair be gone. His attitude to others is not very nice, considering he barely trusts anyone but Chisa and like one other guy, and he just, like I said before, he just wants the best for the world and doesn't really care if he sacrifices people to make it happen. His skill is being the ultimate student council president. Nerd! Third is Hajime Hinata, an average guy who just admired Host Peak Academy and wanted to have an ultimate talent himself. But since he didn't have one, he became a reserve corps student and just hated who he was, being powerless and unskilled. He became so obsessed with gaining a talent and was convinced by the school to have an operation to make him into a person with hundreds of different skills, making him the ultimate hope. Hajime Hinata was just an average reserve corps student. After the operation, he lost all of his memories and identity. Who he became after, Izuru Kamakura, was the ultimate hope. Bored of everything. He could do everything. There was nothing entertaining for him to do. He didn't know who he was. All he knew was he was all-powerful and could do anything he wanted whenever he wanted. Things got really dark about him, or for him, when a certain someone started shit. Fourth is Chisa Yukizome, a happy-go-lucky girl who really cares about each and every person that's near her, or that she's met. Whether or not they have a skill or not doesn't really matter to her. She just wants to help anyone. She's the homeroom teacher of the Remnants of Despair's class, and her skill is the ultimate housekeeper. Fifth is Chiaki Nanami. She's a shy girl who practically gets along with everyone. She cares a lot about her classmates and always tries to help them. Her skill is the ultimate gamer. Sixth is Junko Enoshima, the one who started this whole shit. Her personality is pretty twisted. She hates being bored. She gets so bored of everything that she makes up new personalities for herself and drops them after a few minutes or seconds because that gets boring too. The only thing she finds, like, fun in any shape or form is the feeling of despair, and she wants to spread that across the world. Her skill is the ultimate fashionista, but she has a secondary skill known as the ultimate analysis, but most people refer to her as the ultimate despair, the original ultimate despair. Now for the story. The future arc starts off with the ending of Danganronpa 2, and now Naegi is facing charges against him for possibly being a traitor to the Future Foundation. While meeting with the Future Foundation to decide his fate, the power goes out, people get knocked out, and when everyone wakes up, they find out they're wearing bracelets that will kill them if they do a specific action that is forbidden to them, and to only them, and only they know. They can tell everyone else, but why would you tell someone how you could get killed? After the confusion, the television pops on that's near them, and Monokuma shows up and tells them that another killing game is about to begin. The story is about the killing game of the Future Foundation and the final battle between hope and despair against each other. The despair arc is about everything that happened that led to the worst shit that ever happened in human history thing. It follows the cast of Danganronpa 2 and tells the story of how Junko Enoshima pretty much destroyed the world and filled it with despair. Now for the animations. They were pretty well done. Really pretty, nice to watch, colorful and clean, crisp and fluid, amazingly done. Now for the voice actors. Now for me, since we're only covering the Japanese voice actors here, since the dub isn't done, I don't really know how many of the original voice actors they were able to bring back from the original games, since I played the Danganronpa 2 and after that, all in English dub. I do think that Naegi and the rest of them from the first game all had the same voice actor, since I did play the first one in the sub. And anyways, I liked them all. I really did, and I thought they were all very memorable and really fit well with the characters they played, and I'm actually going to Google some of them to find out some new anime from them, because I think they did a really amazing job. Now for the music. Holy shit, I loved the music. I can't stop listening to the Future Arcs opening theme, Dead or Lie. It's so good, and the Spare Arcs opening is just as good. The ending theme was actually very good too. There was two, of course. They were very amazingly well done. And the soundtrack just really had that Danganronpa vibe that made it really feel like a Danganronpa anime that it really needed to make it good. And it was really well done. Now for the rating part of these reviews. As a rating, I will split up into 5 different categories. The voice acting, animation, story, characters, and overall enjoyability, and always start with the voice acting here. It's a 20 out of 20. The voice acting was superb. I found no real faults with it. End of discussion. Animations, 20 out of 20. They were beautiful. I loved all of it. So amazing to watch. Story, 20 out of 20. This anime story was so well thought out. The writer himself said that he threw in a few curveballs to keep it fresh and keep us on our toes, and to make sure that we didn't know every single thing that was going on. And holy shit, there were a lot of curveballs, but I don't think there were any of them were unnecessary, and I didn't think any of them were bad. I thought they served their purpose very properly and kept the story flowing in a way, or at a pace where we couldn't predict everything. Not everything was predicted. Some things were, not everything. Danganronpa is a world that's so big, and telling the story of the past while also telling the story of the future at the same time made things so much more fun to witness and enjoy. And I can't think of a better way they could have done this. I don't even think that in game form this would have actually worked. So I actually do agree with the creators of Danganronpa. I don't think this would have worked in a game form, and it wouldn't have been as good as the other Danganronpa's games we've gotten. It's a world that people need to explore. This story is a very unique one, and it deserves a lot more recognition than it gets. Characters, 17 out of 20. Of course, all of the main cast was really likable for me, but some characters just weren't likable. They either died too early, or were just people you couldn't like. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Also, Chisa's character was way too important and big for her not to be ever mentioned in any previous Danganronpa game. It really bothered me a lot. Continuity, people, continuity. Enjoyability, 19 out of 20. Predictable. There were a few things in this show that sadly were predictable. Not everything, and certainly not the bigger twists, but things like people dying, or people who would die, or something along those lines, I could predict pretty easily. But that's not really a big reason to hate or give it a big deduction, so just took off just 1 point there. Surprisingly, I was stuck in a smile for the whole last episode of this show, and that usually doesn't happen for me for anime. I usually feel really sad when an anime ends, because there won't be any more story for these characters. But seeing the true ending for this series made me think that there was no reason to be sad, because they went through some crazy shit, and actually came out of it happy. It was an ending that I could predict, and it was amazingly done. I was expecting more action, but honestly, how they ended it was smart, and it did no harm. GG Danganronpa. GG. Overall score, 96 out of 100, 96%. Goodbye, Hope Speak Academy. Here's to a hopeful future ahead of us. An A grade for this anime. I hope you enjoyed the video. In the description, there should be a link to watch it over on the Funimation site, as well as the English dub that they're doing for a simulcast. Check it out. I actually think it's actually really good, so please check it out. Check it out. Check it out. It's not that expensive for Funimation site, I think. A lot of their episodes are actually free to watch. It's just I think their simulcasts are not free to watch yet. But if you have the app on any of your things like tablets or phones, you can watch all the episodes for free, but with apps. So that's something you gotta deal with if you want the good episodes of the shows. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this review. It's actually a pretty long one, surprisingly. This is an important anime because it's an important series to me, because Danganronpa 1 and 2 were like the biggest series on my channel, excluding excluding Pokemon Dark Rising. I thought Danganronpa is a big series for my channel. I'm hoping to finally finish Danganronpa another episode soon. But thank you guys for watching this review. It's got a PFMAB out. See you guys next time.